I'm Salad, Mint Salad, and I saw Tomorrow Never Dies. It is directed by Roger Splitzelwood, written by Bruce Fierstein. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. You know Tomorrow Never Dies because it's a human concept about tomorrow, but tomorrow never happens. It's only today, all the time. That's why tomorrow never dies. But also, I might die in this weather because it's thundering. This movie starts and we're following James Bond. He's on this ship, aircraft thing. I don't know what it's called specifically, but he's on it, he's trying to keep control, and then one of the higher-ups of M, who is a higher-up of James Bond, says, hey, you gotta destroy it. And M's like, no, I don't want to. But they're like, you gotta destroy it. And so they do. I gotta admit, this movie's plot is a little wonky for me. However, the Bond girl, she's such a badass. I love her. She can fight on her own. The other Bond girls can't really do that, but this one can. And that's why I'm like, yeah, she's the ultimate Bond girl in my eyes, because she has the same fighting power. Well, he's a man. He has more fighting power than her. But she knows martial arts, and she can use her kickiness to the ultimate degree, and I like it. I like the kickiness factor. The kickiness factor in this movie needs to be more, but there is a decent amount compared to the other James Bond movies where there isn't that much. This movie, we're dealing with GPS. Yes, GPS exists. This is 1997. I think 1997 was when the internet was not getting popular, but it existed. And of course, the GPS also existed. And of course, it was used for military purposes before consumer use, as are most things. But in this one, they're sinking ships. They're sinking Chinese ships, and James Bond is here to figure out what's going on with this GPS guy. What's up with this dude? Why does he want to use GPS as a weapon? So yeah, this one mostly consists of them sinking ships. I gotta admit, this plot is a little wonky, but I do like the action in this one. There's a lot of action, especially with the kickiness factor being so high. I will say this is kind of a downgrade from the coolness of GoldenEye and the plot making a lot of sense in GoldenEye. That was cool. And I feel like in GoldenEye, I didn't mention it / review, but it's more evenly paced than this one. And this one just feels like a traditional James Bond film where it's an excuse to just go to other countries. More ships go down. More missiles get and hit the ships that go down. And it's up to James Bond to figure out what's happening. Well, there's this guy who's behind it all. He's the guy who's making all of the ships go kablowy, and he wants to destroy the Chinese government. I don't know why James Bond is particularly interested in this, other than that his higher-ups are like, yeah, you gotta keep the Chinese around, because they make all of our products or something. That must be their reasoning. This guy wants to destroy the Chinese government? I mean, he's a Chinese general, so I don't know, I feel like he has more experience with China than anyone in this movie does. Why is nobody ever taking that guy's side? They're all like, don't destroy Chinese ships. Ugh. And I'm like, why not, man? This guy has a vision. I feel like this one is just an excuse for James Bond to go to this guy and be like, hey, don't explode that city. Don't go explode Beijing. And this guy's like, I want to explode Beijing. And so James Bond has to go on that guy's stealth ship and deactivate it and explode the ship and kill that guy. And that's pretty much this movie. Other than the Bond girl, this movie is kind of forgettable. Not gonna lie, I don't like this movie that much. I feel like even though it has more action, and I feel like the James Bond movies starting from GoldenEye are mostly focused on the action part and not so much the spy part, this one has a little bit more spy stuff going on and some action. And honestly, I wish I could just see more action. None of the action scenes in this movie really stood out to me like the previous James Bonds. And is this leaking? I hope there's no leak in here. Oh no, there is. Oh no. Yikes. This James Bond girl is the best Bond girl in my opinion. What do you think of Tomorrow Never Dies? I wish I had more to say about this movie, but I don't. I just don't like it that much. I honestly want to see more James Bond movies. Wow, cool title, Tomorrow Never Dies. Oh wow, not as cool as Dr. No and From Russia with Love in my opinion. What do you think of this movie? I'm sure I skipped some parts because this movie is not very memorable for me. It kind of just blends all together. There's not any specific scene that I can point and be like, oh yeah, this is from Tomorrow Never Dies. Because it just feels like the other Bond movies. Let me know what you think of the movie in the comments below. I've got to give it. It's a 5.9 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one on the platform or likes at $20 Dinos on patreon.com/ASEPresents. One movie review for 1 month. Movies literally treat sports the daily greatness of all the daily movies. So you can go here. And until next time, mint salad sauce. You'll see my sacred thoughts and bacon bits. Adios. Ugh.